What's up, everybody? It's your boy Joshua Edwards, live from Brooklyn, New York. This is Panthers Pride Television. Look, we know that we are officially just a couple days away from the Super Bowl. Everybody right now is really looking forward to that game. The NFL honors went on last night, and there were some things that kind of concern me. But before I get into it, MVP was Josh Allen. Offensive Player of the Year was Saquon Barkley. Defensive Player of the Year was Patrick Surtain. Defensive Rookie of the Year was Jared Verse, and the Offensive Rookie was, what's that boy name? Jaden Daniels. Now, there was something else that really pissed me off. How the hell is Luke Kuechly not a first ballot Hall of Famer? I want to know what is the criteria in order to get into the NFL Hall of Fame. Because somebody has to tell me. If we're just talking numbers, I'm going to give you a guy that played during the same time frame that Luke Kuechly played. He was also a 2010 Hall of Fame type of guy. That was actually one of his awards or accolades, and he got into the Hall of Fame on his first ballot, on his first try. Patrick Willis. How the hell is Luke Kuechly not a first ballot Hall of Famer? When you're talking interceptions, Luke Kuechly washes them away. When you're talking total tackles, Luke Kuechly washes them away. First and second team All-Pro, Luke Kuechly has 7, Patrick Willis has 6. 8 seasons is how many seasons they both played. But there's more. When you're talking tackles for losses, Luke Kuechly washes them away. Sacks, Patrick Willis has them. Pass breakups, Luke Kuechly washes them away. Defensive Player of the Year, Luke Kuechly washes them away. What is the criteria? How is a guy a Defensive Player of the Year? He has more tackles for losses, more interceptions, more pass breakups, more first and second team All-Pro. How is he not a first ballot Hall of Famer? This guy just went in last year. What is the criteria, ladies and gentlemen? Who is voting? I mean, these guys that are voting, they need their vote snatched. At some point, it's getting ridiculous. I mean, just look at the numbers. He's not touching them. They are in the same ballpark, but Luke Kuechly was Defensive Player of the Year. Like, come on, man. It's not hard. The only thing that Patrick Willis has over Luke Kuechly is sacks. That's it. He has nothing else over him. All pros, tackles, interceptions. He has nothing over Luke Kuechly. I don't understand the criteria. At some point, we need to have an honest conversation and say, what the hell are we talking about? Because it's night and day. I mean, I'm not saying that Patrick Willis is a slap. Obviously, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. But what is the criteria? Jared Allen got into the Hall of Fame. Sterling Sharp got into the Hall of Fame last night. Eric Allen, don't even know who he is, got into the Hall of Fame. Antonio Gates, I'm glad that those guys got in. But why is it only 4 players? You can't tell me that his resume is not up to par. This is his numbers compared to somebody that he played in the same ballpark with. Now, I don't understand because I know Bobby Wagner is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but this is a complete and utter miss by the Hall of Fame committee. He washes Patrick Willis away. Go pull up the numbers. I'm not just telling you what I think. I'm telling you what's factual. This isn't conjecture. This isn't an innuendo. This isn't speculation. The numbers speak for themselves. And it's just absurd that Luke Kuechly is not going to become a first ballot Hall of Famer. An absolute miss by the Hall of Fame committee. Adam Thielen will suit up for the Carolina Panthers in 2025. You guys know that he is the oldest receiver in the NFL. Before he finally came around and actually said that he's going to play just a couple days ago, he was on the fence on whether or not he wanted to retire. There were reports saying that he was talking to his family about, man, nobody knew how close I was retiring except for my family. And this is his thoughts just moving forward. I wasn't expecting that to be a headline. Then when I made a decision, I'm like, I'm going to do one more season. Here we go. Adam Thielen on playing for the Panthers in the 2025 NFL season. Now, we know Adam Thielen is Bryce Young's number one target. We hoped and was expecting Xavier Legette to be that guy, but he wasn't. Jalen Coker looked like he can ultimately become that guy. But right now, it's the Adam Thielen show at the receiver position. I think that we might go get a receiver in the draft, or we might try to go get a guy in free agency. But at the end of the day right now, I'm glad that we are retaining that old man because he can still cause separation. He only played 10 games this year. He missed 6 to 7 games because of his hamstring injury. So there has to be a situation where we can dial back the practices, give him more rest days because we need Adam Thielen to play during the season. Like, we know he's better than Xavier Legette currently speaking. He's better than Jalen Coker currently speaking. And he is Bryce Young's good old reliable safety net or safety valve, however you want to look at it. Now, there has been more talks on free agency. Zach Wilson, a former top 5 quarterback, former top 5 pick in the NFL draft, is linked with the Panthers in free agency. So if you don't know why he's linked with the Panthers, Andy Dalton is 37 years old. I don't know what's up with us and just old players in general. We got Adam Thielen. We got Andy Dalton, who's going to hit the free agency market at 37 years of age. He was a veteran that Bryce Young kind of depended on, especially in that first half of the NFL season last year where Bryce Young was ultimately benched and Andy Dalton took on the responsibility of becoming the starter for the Carolina Panthers. I don't see a situation. I think that we will retain Andy Dalton, but it'll have to be on a 1-year minimum contract. But even then, who wants an older quarterback like that at the backup spot? So I think us going with the younger guy, Zach Wilson, will be the ideal spot. Now, Zach Wilson was a second overall pick. He currently has 6,293 total passing yards in his NFL career, has 23 total passing touchdowns and 25 interceptions. But currently speaking, we know that Dave Canales is the quarterback whisperer. So if he can turn around the trajectory of Bryce Young, if Bryce Young struggles, not even if he struggles, but if he gets injured and we need to insert a guy, I believe Zach Wilson would be the way to go because he's young. He's 25 years old. There's been a lot of situations where guys have got that second stint. We saw it with Baker Mayfield. We saw it with Sam Darnold this past season. And he has the arm talent. He has the capability. He just has to get in the right situation. So I think him playing behind Bryce Young, if Bryce Young gets injured, God forbid, I think that we could insert Zach Wilson and he could become a quality starter for us. But the only thing that kind of concerns me about signing a Zach Wilson is what does that say about Bryce Young? We just went on a record. The general manager, Dan Morgan, and Dave Canales said that we got our guy. So if we go out here and sign a guy that's 25 years of age to back up Bryce Young, what is that going to say about Bryce Young? Is that going to put more pressure on him? I don't think that you want that at this stage of his career, especially the way that he closed the season. So I think that we got to re-sign Andy Dalton because he's on his way out of the NFL. And if you sign Zach Wilson, what does that say about how you feel about your quarterback? It's not a good look. I'm not saying that I'm opposed to it. I think it would be a good signing just based off of age value. But if you're looking into just a little more in-depth, you know there's going to be rumbling as soon as Bryce Young has a bad game. Put Zach Wilson in. Like, hell no. We don't want Zach Wilson in. He's a quality backup, currently speaking. Just look at these numbers. I mean, 23 passing touchdowns, 25 interceptions, second overall pick, age 25. If you sign him, what does that say about Bryce Young and really how you feel? I know the guys love Bryce Young. They believe he can compete, and he'll have us in a position. So I think we should stay away from Zach Wilson unless it is a situation where we're signing him just to acquire young talent and just a little more depth just in case Bryce Young gets hurt.